everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. And you can see my screen.
Yes.
Awesome. So yeah, thank you for the kind introduction, Monica, and thank you all for being here today. As Monica mentioned, my name is Ester, and favor to her, I didn't ask her to pronounce my consultancy, but it's Sjálfbær Ferðaþjónusta, which means sustainable tourism in Icelandic. And I'm here to talk about social and cultural aspect of sustainable tourism and how these relate to responsible and diversified tourism offerings, which is this module today. This topic is close to my heart because at its core, sustainable tourism is not just about protecting nature, it's also about protecting people, communities, and the culture. So what do we actually mean when we talk about social and cultural aspects of sustainable tourism? Social and cultural sustainability in tourism means ensuring that tourism activities benefit local communities, respect human rights, and help protect and celebrate the unique culture, tradition, and identity of each place. It's about making sure the people who live in a destination are not just hosts, but active participants who gain from tourism in fair and meaningful ways. The main focus of social and cultural sustainability is supporting local livelihoods and fair working conditions, involving communities in tourism planning, preserving both tangible and intangible cultural heritage, promoting authentic, respectful, and inclusive experiences. When done right, tourism can strengthen communities, protect local culture, and create genuine connection between hosts, locals, and guests. It turns travel into something more meaningful, not just a visit, but an exchange. So how can we bring this into practice when developing a new tourism service or product? I often use GSTC standards as a guide, and for those who do not know GSTC, it stands for the Global Sustainable Tourism Council, a non-governmental organization that establishes and manages global standards for sustainable travel and tourism. They divide their industry standards into 4 categories, A, B, C, and D, and I'm going to speak about B and C sections. So section B. It is called maximize social and economic benefits to local community and minimize negative impacts. These criteria focus on how tourism affects people and communities. Here you can see each criteria, and we're gonna go over them, but like no worries, you're gonna get the slides in the Phoenix Academy later on, so no need to write everything down. B1, community support. Does the business contribute positively to local community, for example, by supporting community projects or infrastructure? Does it give funding to a local playground, or does it support a local festival? B2, local employment. Are local people being hired and trained for key positions? Hiring local guides who know the area, culture, and stories. B3, local purchasing. Are local products and services prioritized? Using local ingredients in restaurants or locally made souvenirs in the gift shop that you visit. B4, local entrepreneurs. Are small local businesses part of tourism value chain? Are you partnering up with small family-run operators or craft shops instead of large corporations? B5, exploitation and harassment. Are there measures to prevent any form of exploitation or harassments? Having clear policies on child protections, for example, or workplace behavior. B6, equal opportunities. Are jobs and opportunities open to all, regardless of gender, race, or background? Do you promote women to leadership positions, or do you hire inclusively? B7, decent work. Are working conditions safe, fair, and legal? Offering fair wages, contracts, and safe work environments? B8, community services. Is tourism avoiding negative pressure on local services like water, healthcare, or waste systems? For example, managing visitor numbers so the community isn't overwhelmed. B9, local livelihoods. Is tourism supporting or harming local livelihoods? For example, ensuring tourism complements, not replaces traditional activities like fishing or farming. And then you have the same setup. I'm not going to go over it. It's just for you to see, and you can explore it at your own time if you look at the slides afterwards. And now we have section C, the cultural aspect. It's called maximize benefits to local heritage and minimize negative impacts. If we start here on C1, cultural interactions. Are interactions between visitors and locals respectful, meaningful, and guided? For example, are tour guides teaching guests about local customs before or while visiting communities? Do visitors get any information about respecting personal lives and not look into people's winters or take pictures without asking? C2, protecting cultural heritage. Are local traditions, historic sites, and ways of life preserved? For example, are you supporting the restoration of heritage buildings or teaching traditional crafts? C3, is culture presented authentically with local consent and participation? For example, having locals lead cultural performances instead of outsourcing them. What are the tour guides teaching the visitors? C4, artifacts. Are cultural artifacts protected and displayed respectfully? Example, exhibiting items with community permission and proper interpretation, not selling sacred or historic objects. And then we have again same criteria, just a different setup for you to look at later. And here we have a case study. And just to show you what it looks like in practice, I'd like to share an example of the Herring Area Museum in Siglufjörður in Iceland. And of course, this is shared with their permission. This museum tells the story of Iceland's herring boom, a time that shaped both our economy and our national identity. Through local participation and authentic artifacts, the museum keeps the story alive. Local people take part in performances, singing, and demonstration that show how life was during the herring years. In a small town with few inhabitants, tourism helps preserve heritage, create jobs, and keep the community vibrant. They contribute by showcasing original artifacts, boats, and tools, involving locals in performances and guiding, preserving historic buildings and songs, sustaining jobs in the remote area, keeping Icelandic coastal heritage alive through tourism. Now I would like to show you a video of the Herring Museum, but it's from Lindblad Expeditions that brings this to life. And as you watch, notice both the social and cultural aspects, how they are interwoven into the visitor's experience.
This morning we are in Siglufjörður, which is a herring town, or at least the centre of what once was a thriving herring fishing industry. And the museum that tells us the story of that era of herring fishing is a wonderful place to visit. It won an award for museums within Europe in recent years. So during the boom years in this town, herring was packed and exported all over the world, including to North America. But there came a time when the stocks of herring at sea were overfished, and as a result the economy of this area fell through the floor basically. There was no economy, the fishing disappeared, and the people in town moved away to other areas where they could find work. So tourism has now taken over to a large degree in Siglifjordur, and it's one of the reasons that we have this place to visit on our itinerary around Iceland.
It's a big part of how our community has grown. My great-grandmother was working as a herring girl, and my great-grandfather was working as an engineer on a boat. What I heard from my grandmother was that this was a wonderful time to be working here, meeting people, and just seeing how the town was alive.
They've recreated all of the stages of the herring production here. The men did all the hard work of the fishing, but there was certainly a lot of hard work to do once the fish came in. And the herring girls were the backbone of that. Without the herring girls, I don't think they could have even had a chance of making this industry.
Yeah. And the Herring Museum also contributes in many other ways as well. Here are just few examples from their Facebook page. They run a cozy on-site cafe, sell locally produced smoked herring and history booklets, host local art shows, and even arrange boat building courses and knowledge exchange. All of these initiatives help connect visitors and locals and show how tourism can support creativity, pride, and community well-being. Thank you.